Hey guys, Seth with SU Fly Fishing. We're going to talk about tippet and leader, okay, today. I want to talk about purpose, I want to talk about price point, I want to talk about product, okay? Price point was not going to be that long. Purpose and product are going to be pretty long on this one, okay? Now, what is tippet, what is leader? Leader is the line attached to your fly line, okay? So leader can be anything, all right? There is a lot of pre-packaged leader you can get at a whole bunch of different places. You can get them at Orvis, you can get them at Cabela's, you can get them at Walmart. Pre-packaged leader is just a tapered leader. Tapered means starts big and goes down small. Okay. Fortunately, I do not have any leader to show because I don't typically use prepackaged leader. However, if you're just starting out and you're just trying to get the fishing thing down, just, get you some leader so you can get your casting down, and then we can go into other stuff. They're going to come typically in a little plastic bag in a circle, and you can get Rio, Umpqua, Orvis, name a fishing brand probably has it. What I do, okay, is I use Maxima, okay, and I tie it onto my fly line. Then I take some nylon, a little bit heavier, and like Umpqua, and I tie that to my Maxima. Then I take Flora, that and Trout Hunter, and I tie that to the nylon. So you heard me talk about nylon and Flora. Okay. Nylon and Flora, the big difference is the transfer of energy. Flora is a little bit denser than nylon, okay? So you feel a little more, okay? So I think that is probably the biggest difference. I like Flora because it's a little bit more sensitive, okay? The purpose is, well, of all leader and tippet, is to be able to use a line on a fly rod. Duh. However, let's talk about the sizes. Typically, when you get tippet or leader, the sizes are as such, okay? You have 1X, 2X, 3X, all the way to 7X, okay? The bigger the number before the X, the heavier the line is, okay? For example, 4X is typically in the 6-pound range. 7X is typically in the 2.5-pound range. It's just that right there is what you gauge how heavy the line is, all right? So, purpose, you want to get your line to what it is appropriate for. Brookies and small trout, 6.5, 7. Okay, larger trout, 5X, 6X. Okay, big predatory fish, 4X, 3X. Okay. Now, some people are going to say you can use 4X for trout, 3X for trout. And in a lot of places out west, you can. However, unfortunately, places that I fish are very high pressured. The places that are really good are high pressured, and you have to use very light line. That's why I'm using 6.5 and 7X to catch 20+ inch fish. So, but that's the purpose, okay? Now, the thing is that we have so many options. And that's when the price point comes in. Mono and nylon will be cheaper than fluoro, okay? So, okay, if you're just getting started in fly fishing, I would go with the nylon. A little bit cheaper. Diameter's not that far off from fluoro. And you can, by it being cheaper, you can just run through it, tie knots, you know, try to figure out everything. Nylon is going to be the cheaper, but best choice. Now, that being said, fluoro is not cheap at all. Let's see, let me get one of those. This is Rio Fluoroflex Strong Tippet, okay? A 30 yard was going to cost you about $16 for this fluoro, okay? Trout Hunter is 50 yards. It'll usually run you right around 30 bucks. Okay? If you get a 100-yard spool, it's going to cost you anywhere between 35 and 45 bucks. It's not cheap, but it is better, in my opinion. So if you're just starting out and you're trying to get stuff down, I would spend the lesser amount of money for nylon. Okay? When you get a little more comfortable in your knots and rigs, then upgrade to fluoro. Now, brands. In my opinion, Rio is the best. In fact, Rio Fluoroflex Strong Tippet is the best fluoro I've ever used, and I have Trout Hunter. The issue I have with Trout Hunter is it seems to crinkle and the memory is really, really long on that line, which means it stays bent and crimped very, very easily. I've never had an issue with this line, the Rio, like I have with Trout Hunter, but it is phenomenal. A little pricey, but phenomenal. Also, if you're going to go to nylon, Rio sells a bunch of different nylon. Okay, great. Also, another good nylon, Orvis Super Strong Plus. Very, very good. Okay. So, I would say the lower end, Rio and Orvis is good. You go to the higher end, it's going to be Trout Hunter and the Rio Super Strong Fluoro. I go with the Rio Super Strong Fluoro. It's what I've experienced to be better. So, if you're going to go, and if you start trying to make your own leaders, buy some Maxima Chameleon and give yourself about 3 to 4 feet of that to start off your leader. Tie on some 4 or 3X down, whatever is a pound or 2 pound strength test smaller than whatever you use for Maxima. So if it's 10 right here, then I would probably go to a 3, which is like an 8. And then from there, that's when you put your tippet, okay? So you're basically making a tapered. So, blood knot, fly line to Maxima, blood knot, Maxima to 3 or 4X tippet, blood knot, the 3 to 4X to my 5, 6X, maybe 7, depends. So, that is what I would do. I would go to wrap everything up. Nylon is cheaper, but not as sensitive as fluoro. Can be used a lot more freely, or I would recommend using a lot more freely since it isn't going to hurt your pocket as much. Fluoro is going to be more sensitive. It is more expensive. And the brands I would recommend are Rio, and then I would probably, after that, Orvis and Trout Hunter. Okay, so that's just my opinion. That's what I've used. I've gone through a bunch of stuff, but that is what I think is the best tippet out. Okay, so if you have any questions, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, please subscribe. And as always, guys, tight lines and blessings.